Hey you guys, I missed you. I hope that you had a great Thanksgiving and Black Friday. A lot of y'all have asked me about like end of the year stuff. I know that a lot of y'all have some spiritual goals for next year, and a Bovada is like the perfect place to start if you don't have one. My spiritual court readings, a lot of people don't really understand what that means, so I'm kind of going to talk a little bit about it. Not too much, because I can talk about espiritismo all night, honestly. It is universal spirituality. It's spiritism. It's working with your guides, your guardian angel, your ancestors, your higher self, from all over the world. And it's so complex, and I love it so much. It's not my only path, y'all know that. I'm in Palo, and I'm in 21 / Puerto Rican Sanse. I'm still tweaking that a little bit. I love my loa. I don't get so caught up in the camino of it, but yeah. Spiritual court readings. It's basically when I sit down and I do things a certain way so that I can see, hear, feel your guides. Because your ancestors are going to be there. You know, these are spirit guides. These are guides that were given to you by God, by the universe, when you were born, that are assigned to you. They can be anything you can imagine. And yes, you know, it's known in espiritismo that we have just as many bad spirits as good ones. Obviously, on your first reading, I'm only gonna explain how to work with the good ones, because this is not the path that you want to walk if you're trying to get into darkness. I would start here first, you know, so at least you have some protection. People have like Arab spirit guides, Oriental, Vikings, German, Madamas, Congos, Indios, Gitanas, Gitanos, every possible ethnicity, from every background, with every profession. Some people have doctor spirit guides, veterinarian, nuns, nurses. I know for a fact I have a nursing spirit guide, or a nurse as a spirit guide. I know for a fact. And my ancestors and her are like this. And they still want me to go back to school, and I'm not. No. Won't be doing it. Not in this lifetime. But I still love nursing, and it will always be in my heart. And I'm just giving this as an example, okay? For all you nosy people, this is not one of my main guides. This is not my principal guide or anything like that. She makes sure that I don't forget what I learned in nursing school. That's what she does. Because she knows that I need it sometimes, you know, in different situations, with my own health, with other people. Obviously, I don't give out medical advice because I'm not a medical professional anymore. But if someone comes to me in a reading and they say that I have this condition and it affects me this way, and we're just talking, and their guides are talking, I can understand what that is, right? So I still use my nursing knowledge to this day. And it's a holistic profession. Not a lot of people know that nursing is mind, body, and spirit, whereas doctor and all that is more just biological, physical, straightforward, and emotional if they're in mental health. But that's an example of what you might have a nun. I don't have one of those. I think that God knew what he was doing, and this is not me, committing blasphemy or anything like that. It's just me being real. Like, vibrationally, she skipped over me. We know that. But you might have one, and yours will still connect with me, and I can talk to you about her and feel her energy and kind of give you a little piece of information about her that will help push you forward so you can get to know her a little bit better. And she'll tell you even more. So, it's amazing when you really get to learn about your guides and where they come from. It is so enriching. It makes you appreciate how diverse that the world is, and that is one reason I love espiritismo, is because if it's done the right way, there is no prejudice. There's not. Obviously there's humans, and humans are gonna mess up and be racist or colorist or believe in stereotypes, but how can you be prejudiced when you have an Asian, a Gitana, a Madama, a Hindu spirit guide? Like, if you have energetically the entire world walking with you, it kind of forces you to open up your mind a little bit. And usually they'll tell you in the reading what they want to help you with, and any messages for you, so it's not just, here's your spirit guides, here's what they want, bye. Excuse me. They'll give warnings that they need to. They will give forecasting for blessings if they need to. They will tell you how to serve them, how to connect with them. Maybe your Gitana will tell you through me in the reading, like, in a few months I want you to get a tarot deck and we'll work on it together. Just focus on getting to know me first, and I'll let you know when it's time. A lot of times they'll do that. Like, if you didn't know that you had a Gitana before, and you come to me and I tell you, what she looks like, her age, where she's from, all that kind of stuff, and then what she's wanting to help you with, usually they'll say, like, just focus on getting to know me first and we'll go from there. Because, especially when we're talking about tarot and spiritual work, like a Madama might help with spell work, right? She might have been in voodoo or hoodoo or something, or Santeria. So she's very witchy, right? But with stuff like that, it's good to have a guide that is well versed in that will help you and protect you. Because if you just go to Barnes & Noble and get a tarot deck and just start throwing cards, no candles lit for protection, not closing and opening the portal, or the spiritual, I don't like the word portal because I think New Age people overuse it. I like to say spiritual session, right? Because that's what it is. There's a start and there's an end. That's just good practice when you're first starting. And it's setting a boundary. It's saying, I'm doing divination right now with my guides and with the universe. I'm an open channel, because in order to receive information from your guides, you have to be open, right? But when you're finished, it's basically saying, I'm ending this, I'm going back to my human existence, doing my regular schmegular human stuff, I'll be back, right? That way you don't have chaos in your life, which I've seen that will happen a lot with like new tarot readers and stuff that aren't doing things properly. They're not cleansing themselves. They started doing readings for other people way too early. Like, this is why it's important to have guides. And to have, readers and people in real life that you connect with. Because you do not want a bunch of ooga boogas running around your house. Matter of fact, to kind of drive this home a little bit more, because it all comes back to your guides when you're first starting, and the importance of them and why this reading is a good thing. I was dating this guy one time that his roommate's girlfriend was a witch. Is a witch, whatever. I hadn't even met the girl. And this is no disrespect to Wiccans, okay? I think a lot of the work that y'all do is beautiful. Y'all love, most of you, love and respect Hecate like nobody else. Right? But y'all have a telltale odor. Y'all have a telltale odor spiritually. It's not bad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I can smell a Wiccan from a mile away. Call it a gift, call it me being weird, I've never been wrong. So she had that trajectory of her path, right? But Miss Ma'am went off of her path a little bit and decided to start doing some dark work, some curses. And all this information came at me in a millisecond from my guides. Like, it was overwhelming. The problem was not her being Wiccan. It was the fact that with her being so immersed in Wicca, because they have the threefold rule and all that, she didn't know what she was doing. She didn't know how to protect herself, how to clean the funk that she conjured up off of her, how to banish, negative entities that might try to come through, how to keep them at bay and keep them from coming in the first place. All the basics, right? For when you're doing baneful, malevolent work. She just got a bunch of stuff together and did it. I don't know how she did this. Maybe it was a spirit that already lived in that house that they were in. Because she didn't live at this house where my ex-boyfriend and his roommate were. She was in another state. But she had been doing work here. Not here, but in their house. So she's chilling in another state. Meanwhile, there was a grandmother and a child spirit together that had gotten into a car accident. I don't know if the house was their home or one of their homes when they were alive and they were just very emotionally attached there, or if she picked it up somewhere or them up somewhere. I don't know. Basically, she was just doing it on her own, throwing some stuff together, saying some incantations, and she conjured up some shit that she was not trying to conjure up. She was just trying to mess somebody up a little. She was not in ATR. She didn't know, how to get a muerto and stuff like that. She literally conjured it up without trying. And it was causing chaos. And I could tell by the way that, because I saw her altar. I'm not even going to call it an altar. I'm going to say a working space. And I remember I told my ex-boyfriend, I was like, don't touch that. Don't touch it. And he's like, I touched it like 300 times before. It's not going to hurt. I'm like, remember who you're dating, babe. Sure enough, it bit him in his tail. But her altar was a mess. There were herbs all over it, crystals, a demon tarot book. Just a mess. A mess. Your altars are a reflection of your life. I've been doing this for a while, and I still don't have the perfect setup because I have a lot of stuff. A lot. I have a lot of books, a lot of crystals, my business stuff. I try to keep it somewhat organized, especially if I'm doing spell work. If I'm doing spell work, I get everything that I need together. And when I'm doing that, my guides are right here. Right? They're telling me, get this, get this. No, don't use that. And I get everything together while I'm communicating with them. Usually I'll write it down if I can. And then I start. And I do the work, and then I put my stuff back. Because my guides taught me that. Everything is energy. And some of your guides do not like mess. And it's good to have that structure, to have that guidance. It's just like a parent teaching you when you're a little kid how to stay organized and pick up after yourself. It's the same thing, but it's very important spiritually. And I see that a lot, especially on Witch Talk. They don't have a connection with their guides. And if they do, it's a deity. And there's nothing wrong with deity veneration or anything like that. Okay? Y'all know, if you know what's up, congratulations. I have nothing against it, right? I tell y'all a bi-weekly reminder every 2 weeks with the moon cycle. This is your friendly reminder to put out your offerings to Miss Ma'am. But the thing is, number one, think about how many people call up and try to conjure down and bring down that deity's energy. Especially Hecate. Or, what's another one that Wiccans like to work with? Even the damn demon. Like, they're busy. They're busy. You're gonna have a much more, when you're first starting, a much more personal relationship with your spirit guides. It's like a friendship that your friend lives 5 minutes away, right? And y'all are super close because you get to go out all the time and you get to spend time with her and go shopping and go to the spiritual store and go to the movies, and you're always on the phone, right? Y'all are like this because she's right there. Versus having a friend that lives 700 miles away. Y'all might talk every day, but that connection has a limit because of the distance. That's kind of what it is with a goddess when you're first starting out. That's just my opinion. So it's good to have those that are close to you, so that you don't put yourself in danger. And if you are starting to put yourself in danger, they will let you know. And you'll get to know them, and you'll get to know how they communicate. And sometimes that comes up in these readings. Like, I'll say, she's letting me know that she's going to start coming to you in your dreams. And that's, at this time, her favorite way of communicating with you. Because it's easier for her, and it's probably easier for you to understand. And, yeah. So, I'm gonna get off of here. I just wanted to kind of go over that with y'all about the readings. Espiritismo and your spiritual core is beautiful. There's so much healing in Espiritismo, because you're not just healing yourself and your ancestors, you're also healing your spirit guides. Yes, they're spirit guides and they're elevated, but if you think about a lot of them and what they came from, they probably went through a lot of hard stuff. And they will not turn down your prayers for healing and love for them. I promise. And they are very grateful. Because it's like, a lot of people approach their guides with like, gimme, 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 and don't actually take the time to get to know them and think about what they've been through. Like, I've cried. It used to be very hard for me to sit at my Bovada with my people and my guides, because for 3 of them, 3 different groups, commissiones, I would just cry. Because I was still in the very beginnings of getting to know them, and they were gradually telling me and showing me their story, and my heart would just break, because I'm so empathetic, and they're so close to me, that even though they are on the other side, and they're not still going through these things, they still had to, and it was very hard for me. But the more that I got to know them, and the more that I prayed for their healing, the easier it became. And mine are like my family, and they are some amazing people. And I'm happy with who I have. I don't think any guide is more powerful than the other or anything like that. I'm sorry, any type of guide. Right? Because you can have two of them from the same commission. Let's say you have 2 Arabs, and one of them was like a sheikh or a excuse me, what's the Arab priest, what's the Muslim priest called? Is it a prophet? Oh my god, I sound uneducated right now. He was a teacher of Islam, right? Very well-renowned in spirituality, very evolved, had a pretty easy life, he was wealthy, stuff like that. And then you might have another Arab that lived on the streets, and he's spiritual, you know, because a lot of street people are spiritual. Don't get it twisted. But he might need to be cooled down a little bit, because he might still be a little hyper, and he might need to elevate some. So, in the beginning stages, the first one is gonna have a little bit more oomph. Because the other one needs to elevate, and that's fine. You still need to elevate, I still need to elevate, like, we're all a work in progress. Even the first one. Even the Muslim priest. We can always improve, you know? But this video is getting long. I'm sorry that I don't know the word for the... You know what? And this is not me being funny, okay? I'm literally mad at myself right now, because I took multiple world religion classes in college, and I can't remember this. And by the way, don't even get me started on the things in Gaza right now. It is sad. Okay. Let me turn this brightness down. Okay. And I bet you the reason that all this is happening right now is because one of y'all might have one of these men as your spirit guide. I need Mom! I'm gonna remember that, I promise. Yeah, he might have been any mom, and he was very well renowned when he was alive, and has all this knowledge and knows all these secrets about the universe, which they do. Like, Islam is a very deep religion. It has a lot of philosophy. Even if you're not Muslim, like, don't be prejudiced. You might need those teachings. I've taken some from it. Once I started learning about it, and I learned about certain principles that they teach, I'm like, you know what, that makes sense. I'm gonna remember that. So, but yeah, the stuff in Gaza is terrible. If you go on TikTok, there's a filter with the watermelons that you can use to donate money to Gaza. Hopefully it gets resolved. Pray for them. Don't just pray for yourself. Pray for the world. Pray for all of those mothers losing their children and children losing their families, and my heart hurts. I love you guys very much. If you want to get the spiritual court reading, it is $88 for 45 minutes. I'm not really a stickler about the time with this type of reading, just because it's such a unique reading that, like, I can't do it to where, okay, like, only 2 guides can step forward, right? I need to tell you as many, you know, come forward and what they want to say. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 4. It just depends. But, yeah, it's $88 for 45 minutes. Message me or text me, WhatsApp me if you need to book a reading, and I will get back to you. This is not a type of reading that you can really get an urgent reading for. It's not really an emergency style reading. If for whatever reason you want it within 24 hours, it is going to be the 115 instead of the 88. So, I will talk to y'all later. I love you so much. Pray for yourself, pray for the world, pray for your guides. Let them help you. Be receptive and be respectful. They are not your slaves. Okay? You always ask. You don't demand everything. Okay? I love y'all. Bye.